So how does the guy who covers niche Sonic game cover anything more niche than the leapfrog Didge version of Sonic 06? By covering games behind the paywall of geographical location. Physical Sonic arcade machines. Never played these? Probably live in Wyoming or something. Some of these games I can actually play, some are lost to time, maybe they're just videos, and some are literally just 240p JPEGs. And I'll be covering every single one of them in no particular order except for what makes this video interesting. I'm a villain, not a wiki page. You may note today I'm wearing these bad boys, and it's not just to look snazzy and mysterious. They're the XREAL Air 2 Pro glasses, today from our sponsor, XREAL. Paired with their XREAL Beam Pro device, I'm actually reading my notes for this video off these, instead of holding paper like an idiot. I could even be literally streaming video games or cloud games to this as we speak. So that's why I've got these, I'll talk about them later. We're gonna start out with Sonic Athletics from 2013. This one's actually an entire attraction, a huge machine with a ride operator and everything. It consists of like 8 treadmills in front of a huge vertical screen. Makes you feel like a little baby on an iPad on a treadmill. It's pretty much just like 3 mini games from Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games where you must run, and only really run. But it kind of just looks like a glorified jog. If we're entirely honest and using this as a starting point for everything, it probably goes here. Logo's cool though. You're gonna notice a consistent theme of a lot of arcade things being kind of cooler on paper than they actually are. Next up we got CR Sonic from 2003. This is essentially a really strange version of Sonic Adventure 2 on a snazzy looking pachinko machine. As you play, okay, well it's pachinko, so as gravity plays, it makes altered versions of Sonic Adventure 2 little animations play as if you're kind of playing through a level as you get points. And it's got all kinds of pretty colors and looks really cool, make your brain go burr. It's got that early 2000s crack charm to it. Now while I can't play this one because I can't be bothered to travel overseas or go back in time, I did drop a coin down the stairs earlier, so I have a strong grasp on how this would have played. Literally just for looks and presentation alone, I'm giving it a nice hearty A tier, and it's got some good animations. Looks like some actual effort put into it. As gambling, I won't clarify, but this digs into my psyche a little bit, a very interpersonal moment. Waku Sonic Patrol Car, this one from 1991. Developed by the famed Sega AM1 team. This game is actually a full-on police car that you and a buddy can step inside and literally live a Sonic fan's dream of following traffic laws and stopping the true villains of the world, drivers with suspended license. I think bro realizes he's not chasing anyone. He said, "Hey guys, this is my arcade game." Oh, don't hit pedestrians. #1 police officer move. I think this is the first game that Charles Martinet voiced Sonic too. Ooh. Yep, that's just a part of the arcade machine. So is this mouse. Eggman, you're driving backwards. Traffic violation. Look out. Get out and chase him! You're literally Sonic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's geese? It is probably like 90% of the fun with this is just being inside the police car and being 7, but I would rather play it than athletics. Because when you're a kid, vroom car, very cool. Sonic Dash Extreme from 2015. This is actually a pretty well-known mobile game, but this is the Extreme version, the arcade version. Much like the whole arcade scene is nowadays, it's an arcade version of a mobile game that just looks like a giant ASMR mic. And according to the brochure from the Prime Time Amusements, Sonic the Hedgehog and video games are synonymous with one another. Yeah. It also, from what I can tell, appears to run on Windows Embedded 8 systems, so that's a bad sign. And it's pretty much the same as the mobile game, or the Windows Store version that apparently got removed in 2019. So it's a mobile game. Gameplay would put it in E, but it looks pretty cool, the machine itself. It's got like colors. I like colors. Sometimes I put them in my thumbnails. Sega Sonic Bros, this one from 1992. A game running on the old Sega System C2. This Japanese only had a very short life. And it's actually a full 3D action game far before Sonic Adventure, where you play as Sonic and his bros Larry and Terry. Nah, it's just a puzzle game. Oh, weird they had Facebook ads back in the day, even on these old arcade machines. Hey Sonic! Hey Sonic's brother. I'm Sonic's brother Sonic. Okay, when colors intersect, you get points. Ah, when colors make a very tall L shape, you get points. That's the tallest L I've ever seen. Literally and ironically, and in the hip millennial term. Yeah. I can appreciate a puzzle game. Nah, I really kind of can't. We'll now take you on a slight detour into a very specific category of Sonic arcade games, the ones that have been well ported and people have played tons, things that aren't as interesting to talk about. Sonic the Hedgehog 1991, the original first Sonic game that everyone's played before. It was ported as an arcade system. It's pretty much the same as the Mega Drive game. Sonic 2, the arcade version, again, essentially the same as the Mega Drive version of Sonic 2. Flicky from '84, very long time ago. This actually isn't technically a Sonic game. It came long before Sonic ever existed, but Flicky has made cameos in Sonic games, so it technically makes a list. And the last in these well-ported, Sonic the Fighters from 1996, shout out, birth year. It was eventually ported to the GameCube via Sonic Gems Collection, and then it was ported again later in HD for the Xbox 360 and PS3. I know this is a lot of life-changing information to intake, especially if you're a Sonic fan, so I'm going to give your brain just a wee little break and explain a little bit more about our sponsor, who makes this project possible, XREAL. You know, I always say, AR is just reality augmented. And there's no better way to show that than these XREAL Air 2 Pro AR glasses. Think of it as a personal screen that only you can see. It can be used to display tons of devices in AR with the latest micro OLED panels from Sony, tons of great built-in tech like background dimming, allowing you to darken the world around you, get a really good viewing experience when you use it to watch movies, play games, much more. The glasses are wild as it is, but this companion add-on, the XREAL Beam Pro, is a slim phone-like device, and it can be used as a hub for all kinds of cool features of the glasses. It boasts the most advanced 3D space for accessing Google Play, tons of streaming services. It supports spatial display of all two-dimensional apps in Google Play. As the slogan says, millions of apps in your AR glasses. Self-explanatory. You can use it as a point-and-click controller for menus, or even running services like Moonlight to stream tons of devices to your AR glasses with up to 8 GB of RAM, 256 GB of storage. It's a 1080 display at 90 Hz. You'll have seemingly infinite entertainment at your fingertips. What's even better is supports external storage as well. The included microSD card slot in this baby supports up to a terabyte of capacity. You can use these two cuties together to stream tons of gaming devices to your glasses. You can stream your PC using the Moonlight and Sunshine apps in a variety of resolutions, bit rates, frame rates. You can stream your PS5 using the PS Play app or Remote Play, and it even streams your Xbox. You can use the XBX Play app or just use the Xbox app. If I need to edit something on my silly work PC, for instance, I can just pop these bad boys on and control my main computer from anywhere in the house with this magical little portal. You wouldn't know this, but I've been reading the notes for this video off these glasses the whole time. Actually, I did tell you, but if I didn't, you'd never know. I could just be watching My Little Pony the entire time, you wouldn't have known. Listen, I know cool tech. I made a SpongeBob PC. I know cool stuff, and this is cool stuff. So check out these XREAL products using the links in the description and the pinned comment, and a huge thanks to XREAL for making projects like this possible. Okay, back to the meat and potatoes of the main games on here. Sonic All-Star Racing Arcade from 2011. This is a pretty well-known Sonic arcade game, probably the one that people know the most considering Sonic's got a very obscure range of older games, a couple newer ones, and mostly Japanese-only stuff. Some features vary a little bit from the console version of this game, but it's pretty much the same as the 360 PS3 version. Some levels were removed for being too hard or something. The game can also link up to 8 locally, and it's one of my favorite types of arcade machines where you sit in a chair and you got a wheel. I was actually going to give it a low rating because you can literally just play the console version, but I think even as an adult I would choose to rather play the one with the seat and the steering wheel and go to a Chuck E. Cheese. I like that. Sonic the Hedgehog Cosmo Fighter, going all the way back to 1993. This one's a lot like Waku Patrol Car, except it's a spaceship instead of a police car. So some of you might think that's cooler. Me, I thought police cars were cooler as a kid, so yeah, just need to insert some personal info there. Sorry, Cosmo from Sonic X has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Hey, Cosmo, are you actually the Sonic Cosmo Fighter arcade from 1993? No.
This one actually did receive a Western release, albeit very, very limited, at Sega World Sydney in 1997. This one, surprisingly, has also had its files dumped, so it is available for emulation on MAME. Just keep in mind, Sonic is kind of a really cool, probably really strong police officer, so, you know, keep yourself safe out there. Just arrived at an arcade in Honolulu to play this one. Warning, this game is to be used only in Japan. Alright, we're at an arcade in Tokyo. It's the only place in Japan I know of. He says, check it out. I got a new motorcycle. New York? Santa! And immediately we're on the final boss. Those are some pretty big pickups. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, well, how was I supposed to react to that physically? Are people in Japan just faster than me? Yes! How many stars? Get out of here, loser! That's what he said. Jeez, Japanese culture is kind of mean. I'm actually going to take the effort to move everything and just slap it right here. That's how much I want it to be in C tier. I'm a man of integrity. I shouldn't. But I will. Sonic the Hedgehog AWP game from 1997. AWP standing for Amusement with Prize, and this one's pretty much just a slot machine. I really can't find any info on this game other than that, but I did find this graphic that says, live fast, play hard, die happy. I don't know if this is shown in the game, or this is just some image that someone made and uploaded to the wiki. Maybe it has nothing to do with it. I also found this image that claims to be a premium image, mind you. I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, don't know anything about it. On the other hand, slots. Slots, as you all know, beats puzzle game. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, the Rio 2016 edition. This is based off the Wii U and 3DS games of the same name. This version of the game runs off the Sega New Arcade Board, NU, which runs off PC-based hardware. In particular, it's like a Intel Core i3, NVIDIA 650 Ti, Windows Embedded 8, of course. Sound like I'm doing a sponsor for them. So this game is pretty much just a PC port that you control with your body, much like the Sonic Athletic games 3 years prior. 2 joysticks, 1 button, foot pad, live camera player for reactions. It is 4 players. And you could play the game using your AIM cards, anime cards. It was a service that was only in Japan. It was pretty much just prepaid cards, but you could also save your game progress and rankings to them, which is kind of neat. I could find the manual, but no archive of this game. This version apparently is pretty different from the Wii U and 3DS versions. So I can't play this one, and my integrity will not let me judge it based on the other versions. That's a lie. I mean, by default, it has to be better than Athletics because it has more games. Probably pop it up here. I assume it, silly, goofy, fun action with buddies. Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. This, much like the last one, was based on the Switch game, and much like the Mario and Sonic series altogether, it remains mostly the same as the previous 2016 game, even to the point where you could get an upgrade kit. If you owned the 2016 arcade machine, you could get an upgrade kit that just turned it into the 2020 machine. That's how non-different it was. I guess obligatorily it has to be slightly better because sequels. Nah, scratch that. My favorite Mario and Sonic was the old Winter Olympic ones for DS. Old games can be better. That is completely not motivated by nostalgia. This is factual. Okay, we're gonna go to another rapid fire segment because there's a very specific category of these where there's literally like no gameplay. They're not like video games, they're just like physical attraction games. Sounded a little bit mature, okay. UFO Sega Sonic from 1992. It's a Sonic claw machine. Sonic Redemption game from 1993. A redemption game is a type of arcade machine where you get tickets or tokens, which you can later like redeem for toys and candies and stuff like that. That's all there is to it. Sonic No Space Tours 1994. It's a redemption game that, quote, publishes keychains combined with an arcade game. There's only images I could find of this. It was also remade 5 years later in 1999. Very cool fact. Glad they remade this one. Sonic and Tail Spinner from 2002. Almost bought this one on eBay a couple years ago before I came to my senses. It has an adventure style like art theme. Sonic Sports Basketball from 2010. It got an update in 2016. Cool promo art. Sonic Sports Kids Basketball. This one's from maybe like 2018. It's the same thing, but just for kids. Sonic Sports Air Hockey from 2010 also got an update in 2016. It's just Redemption Air Hockey. Sonic Ghost Shooting from 2013. This one actually looks pretty cool. It's a ride where you shoot ghosts and stuff like while riding a train. I think it's kind of like Pumpkin Hill-esque, maybe? It's got a cool logo. Sonic Blast Ball from 2015. It's a Redemption Pachinko game. These words, I feel like I'm literally learning a new language as I make this video. Sonic Air Circus from 1994, this is an old one. Although it's not marketed as a Sonic title, it has some side characters that were in the games. Sonic Circle Shoot from 2012, good name. You just throw basketballs into these little nets. Sonic Curling Holiday from '94, also not marketed as a Sonic game, but still has the side characters. It is a curling game. Sonic Darts, we don't know when it came out, but it looks to be the '90s, and it's probably a dart game. Just my educated opinion. Sonic in the Barrel from 2012. This one's a larger attraction type game where you throw balls into baskets. Sonic Mogu-Mogu Rush. Another unknown release date. The art looks to be newer than 2009, something like that. It's like post-Colors era. It's just a whack-a-mole game, Japanese only. Sonic Neo Target, also Japanese only, most of these are. 2012, you shoot balls into holes, win Sonic plushies, yay! Sonic O-Ring from 2012. This one was previously branded as a Koro Fever game in the 90s, which is like a manga. You roll small balls into slots. They refurbished it into Sonic at one point in 2012, I guess. Sega Sonic Watame Scramble, maybe? 1994, it's a cotton candy machine. And that's all for the physical I'm gonna maybe call them something else. That's all for the attractions. That's all for those particular games I was talking about. Back to some of the ones with actual gameplay. This one is kinda cool. It is Sonic Brain Ranking. It has its own logo. It is a full-on attraction that you stand in with multiple little kiosks. It's a attraction at Sega's Tokyo Joypolis. I don't know what that means, I'm just reading. There's 9 players that do guessing, 1 player that does the questioning. It's just like a miscellaneous trivia game. There's no archive of the game's software, but guessing by the time period, I'm sure it was Windows Embedded 8, so yay. The only mention of the game's supposed questions was a Redditor asked if anyone had documented the questions, to which funny Flaggle guy answered, "I don't know." This is undocumented. There's no way to have played it, but it's trivia. Well, it's probably here in the only fun because you and your buddies could do it. And big Sonic, ooh, big machine. I don't really know what that meant. Sega Sonic Popcorn Shop from 1993. Some of you might have heard of this one. It's gained a little bit of traction because there are actually dumps for the files. It is essentially a big popcorn machine with a built-in screen where you play a minigame where some popcorn is made for you in one of 3 flavors: butter, salt, or chili. Most people would do butter and salt, but I guess you couldn't. It's made by Sega AM1 and Sega AM4. One's the minigame department, one's the vending cabinet department, I guess. Kinda cool, but we can actually check this one out. Winners don't use drugs. William Sonic Sessions from the FBI. People who like popcorn don't like drugs. And Tails. Hey, Tails. Hello, Dad. Hey, Tails. Popcorn. What kind of popcorn you want? Okay. I don't really know what button you push. That's actually not popcorn. It's unprocessed grain. Eggman, your long steps are beautiful. Sonic, I'm on fire, please. It's fine if other bad people burn, though. Thank you. Bro, that's mine. He says, I hope you like popcorn. Don't forget to recycle. Nobody cares. Eggman's most evilest scheme to date. Almost taking my popcorn. Definite violation of the Geneva Convention. Wow, that was pretty cool. To get the full experience, I do have to consider the taste of popcorn in general, and the enjoyment I would get off the game based on that too, which I put it up here. I'd probably play it 3 times for each of the flavors. I don't know. Depends on how hungry I am, I gotta say. A very cool one, Sega Sonic the Hedgehog Arcade, 1993. Sonic, Larry, and Terry are back with this Sega System 32 arcade machine developed by Sega AM3. Obligatory Crazy Taxi mention. This one's a pretty fast isometric game. We can actually play it. It's just like me and my brother. And whoever else happened to be there at the time that me and my brother, because I only had one brother. Okay. Warning, this game to be used only in Japan. Export, sales, distribution, and operation outside the area may constitute a violation of the Second Amendment rights of the United States. The dudes? He looks kind of dorky. Do we actually have to include him? Oh, dang. Oh. Okay, these controls are a bit flighty. I'm sure it's a lot easier on an actual arcade wheel. Okay, watch out for the wall, Sonic. Ah, if I only could read Japanese, I would have known. Okay, we going. Oopie-doopie-doo! Oopie-doopie-doo! Oop! Oh my goodness. Come on. Cool. Good jump, Peter. You made it. Ooh. Oh, come on. I had that. Tornadoes. This has got to be Wisconsin zone. He's fine. He's fine. Nope, he's not. Modern day, I had to check my phone. This would not fly in current society. Man, I hate people. To be honest, due to childhood issues. Deep psychological problems having to do with my parents. What? Out of rank? I have so much more money though. I could hit this button 100 more times. I say I only had one brother. He's fine. He's still alive. Me and my brother, because I only had one brother. Bless his soul. This one's actually kind of awesome. Like, it's a full-on game. It's kind of got the vibes of a lot of arcade games like Metal Slug, where you're just kind of trying to play through an entire game, and just really depends not only on how good you are, but how loaded your parents are, which is cool. I like that. And lastly, in our long run, the final Sega arcade game, at least that I could find and that the internet knows of, Sonic Live from 2008. It's a pachinko slot machine that plays animations in the style of Sonic Adventure 2. It's a lot like that CR Sonic one from 2003, a couple years earlier. It plays sort of interactive videos as you gamble slots. Thanks to the nice friendly person here who archived this video of the machine, because otherwise literally no one would believe me. But yeah, sometimes Dad was throwing away the family fortune on this dude. And I mean, that's kind of fine. In fact, it's very fine. I consider this quite cool. I mean, maybe not as pachinko-y as CR Sonic, and pachinko is good. I can't figure out if I like specifically Sonic Adventure 2 era, or maybe just gambling. That's pretty much all that we could get, or at least all that I could dig up. And I want to leave you with a very interesting philosophical idea that I have well fleshed out in my mind. If you physically have to go to a location to go to a game, and many people don't have access to a lot of these games, especially the older ones, you know, it brings up the moral question, is it okay to type into your browser to play Sonic Popcorn Machine? And I don't, you know, it's tough because Sonic Popcorn Machine, very cool. Moral dilemma, interesting. Thought opinion for real. And of course, huge thanks to XREAL, their XREAL Beam Pro, the XREAL Air 2 Pro. This is a pretty cool way to read a teleprompter, in fact, and it's a pretty cool little tech device. And these are a really great implementation for any tech enthusiast. I highly suggest checking them out using the links below, pinned comment below. They make me feel a lot cooler than I actually am. Sometimes I need that. And according to what I'm reading on screen, it says, end the video on something. Live and die. Drop dead. You weirdo.